1.
Break it down.
Welcome to the Wrestling Show, emulating live from the epicenter of awesomeness here in Tampa, Florida. No, that's not a typo. I'm going to be doing an ROH review. Granted, it's a week late, and yes, I'm still working on my camcorder issues. But before we get into the show, don't forget to go to the Wrestling Revolutionary store, where you can buy the following items: Wrestling Show hats, ADTV t-shirts, unsquared circle DVDs like Dimensional Turmoil, and classic 1333 napkin dispensers. Though all items are relatively cheap, we did not jip on the quality. Okay, the show opens up with the biggest announcement ever. Brian Kendrick will return for the 8th anniversary show, which is February 13th. That's right, Spanky is coming to ROH. Move over TNA and Hulk Hogan. Spanky's getting in the mix, so there's going to be a new Monday Night War, so just so you know. Basically, they're showing highlights of the previous few matches that have been taking place for the Pick 6 Contender Series. Jim Cornette announced it, basically showing highlights. So far, Tyler Black has advanced, Colt Cabana and Roderick Strong. It's 12 guys, 6 matches, and they see who advanced. And of course, it's, contendership for the ROH title. So, that is that. Okay, first match, Joey Ryan vs. Necro Butcher, Ring of Honor's resident hobo. Of course, Mr. Ryans is accompanied by the embassy, which is Prince Nana and Mr. Osiris, whatever, I don't care. A lot of brawling, decent enough match. Butcher got thrown into the turnbuckle post from the outside by Ryans. And the announcer was like, oh, his lower nutsack region has seen better days. He didn't say groin or balls. He got very specific, like within micromillimeters. His lower nutsack as opposed to his upper nutsack. I do not make this up. There was a cool little spot where Necro's leg was in a chair. Ryan somersaulted off the top rope, onto the chair. And Necro's leg was in it, so that had to hurt. It looked pretty cool, but it was a simple little move. Lots of brawling, and eventually turned into a 3-on-1. And then some dude, I don't know, some other homeless person ran in. I guess he's part of the ROH roster, like Lumberjack Red or whatever the heck his name is. But yeah, he's beat up. Then Eric Stevens runs in. Oh, the embassy clears out. But then Eric Stevens, bam, swerve! And then, since this whole match was no disqualification, Joey Ryans wins. So the embassy reigns supreme. Next, Kenny Omega video highlights. Hey, he's good enough. He's alright. I like him. But that was that. Then Tony Kazone versus Colt Cabana. I will just call him Tony. Once again, the announcer. Who is that? I'm trying to look up the announcer's name. Prozac, whatever. I'm still new to this Ring of Honor thing. But anyway, I'll just call him Prozac. Mr. Prozac said, Kozine is like Ric Flair. I guess because he was comparing how he did the arm locks, or it was just stupid. I didn't catch it all, but he said something about him and Flair in the same sentence, so that was pretty dumb. Colt Cabana was, he's just pretty much messing around during the whole match, not taking Tony seriously. I kind of like his style. I know he was in WWE, I think, in the developmental territories. I don't know, he's kind of mixes comedy with wrestling. I guess if I was in shape and could wrestle, I'd probably wrestle kind of like him. His style is somewhat goofy, but can get things done type of style. Every time Tony tried to do something athletic, Like he would do something impressive, Colt Cabana would just like reverse it. So this was pretty one-sided affair. Colt Cabana wins. Then we go to an Eddie Kingston interview, my highlight of the match. Excuse me, the night. So, you know, he's like all stirred up. He's very high-strung. Too much coffee. He's like, oh, I'm mad. Who attacked me? And then, you know, he shows the King of Diamonds card. Like that's a calling card. So my guess is Diamond Dallas Page attacked him. Now, granted, that's a bad guess. But, I don't know. Who else? I'm guessing it has something to do with someone Diamond. So, yeah, he was very, mad. Our next match is Kevin Steen, who recently turned heel, versus Alex Payne. Steen, of course, thinks he's Mr. Wrestling. Isn't there already a Mr. Wrestling, like 3 of them, and they wear masks? But I think they're all different people. Kind of like Tiger Mask, there's been 4 versions. But I thought there already was a Mr. Wrestling. Anyway, very short squash match. Steen wins by submission. Now we're going to our main event, which was 15 minutes of awesome back and forth. I mean, the show overall was pretty good. Well, I'll say decent. It wasn't anything awesome, but this made it pretty solid overall. Still better than a Raw, even if, well, unless you just take in account the Steen match. But the main event was great. So what was the main event? It was Chris Hero versus Kenny Omega, who we saw earlier in video highlights. Lots of back and forth action. Since I started watching Ring of Honor, I noticed they'll even take simple things like drop toe holds or something, and they'll add like extra flips to it. I don't know, sometimes it's like exaggerated and not needed, but other times it's cool. So I think even if you want to, it's cool when you can take simple things, drop toe holds, whatever, suplexes, and just add a new little unique twist to them. Or, you know, it's all about the wrestling, the athleticism, and so forth. Very nice. Wasn't really any interference from the outside by Del Rey or anybody. But after each tried to hit their finishers, great reversals. Of course, they kicked out of each other's finishers. Kenny Omega is now advanced in the Pick 6 contendership. Overall, it was, you know, it was decent. It was better than half of the stuff WWE put on. I'm kind of new to ROH. I don't know if I'll be reviewing ROH a lot, but maybe every now and then. But decent enough show, and I'll try to watch some future episodes. Alright, everybody. Have a great day, and don't forget to go to the Wrestling Revolutionary store and buy some of our stuff.